Welcome back to the sewing room. I'm glad y'all are here. Y'all joined me in this little sewing space, this little attic corner. My little corner of the world is right here. And it's about 5 by 8 because that's the size rug I've got laying over here on the floor. And it just covers my little space. You all have asked for some simple, easy, beginner sewing projects. The easiest thing in the world to make, and I'm getting ready to show y'all what it is. If I'm teaching a class, this is the beginner class. This is the first thing I teach y'all to do. The very first thing I teach you to do in a class. Easiest thing in the world. Turn out absolutely precious. I've made a gazillion of them. I have given them away as gifts. I have donated them to children's hospitals. I've got stacks of them downstairs that we use all the time. So we're going to make a pillowcase. Just a plain, simple pillowcase, but with a twist, because after all, you get plain pillowcases when you buy your sheets, right? And we don't want plain pillowcases. We want pretty pillowcases. Yeah, we do. We want pretty pillowcases. And in this case, we're going to make some for Mr. Andy, because we just think he's special, right? I was at the fabric store. Oh, it's been a while. I don't know how long ago. And I found this on sale. This bowling fabric. And he loves to go bowling. So I bought a yard. Yard's all you need. You really don't even need a whole yard. And, of course, you all know he loves his baseball. So I got this piece of baseball fabric. Okay? I just got those 2 pieces right here. So we're going to make 2 pillowcases. 2 pillowcases for his bed. So you need to make 3 cuts and 3 seams. Okay? Or 2 seams. That's all you need to make. 3 cuts and 2 seams. Easy, easy peasy peasy. Easy peasy. Get you a pencil and a piece of paper, and I'm going to tell you how to cut your fabrics. Okay? I'm using 3 different fabrics. You can use 1 fabric and just hem it. You can use 2 fabrics. I use 3 because I like a little extra. Just a little decorative piece. You can use a trim if you want to. You can use rickrack. You can use pom-pom fringe. You can use any kind of trim that you've got if that's what you want to do. I just make my own because I just think it looks cute, it looks good, and especially if I'm donating them to a charity of some sort, then that's just the easiest. And it's usually the cheapest, okay? So y'all got your pencil and your piece of paper, or open up a notepad on your phone so you can write this down. You're going to make 3 cuts, okay? 3 cuts on your fabric. And I'm going to cut these 2 together, if I can. Like I said, these are both yard pieces, or close to it. One of them is a little more than a yard. Because of the way she cut it, she literally cut it through this, so she wouldn't be cutting this, but I'm going to cut this because I want it to be a certain size. Okay? You're going to cut your main fabric. This is the main piece of your pillowcase. The biggest portion of your pillowcase is what you want to cut first. Okay? So for this one, we're cutting it 24 inches. Or 2/3 of a yard. So if you're going in a fabric store and you want to buy just the exact amount to make your pillowcase where you don't have to cut it, They cut it for you. You need 2/3 of a yard of your main fabric, 24 inches, okay? But I saved this. We'll do something else with it. This will be good to fussy cut things with. Like we can fussy cut that bowl out or this or that. You know, and all these right here, we can applicate these on different things for him. You know, whatever. We'll have this. All right? So, these will go over here in the stash. There's our two main pieces right there. Easy peasy. Now then, for our cuff, the cuff piece on your pillowcase, the wide piece at the bottom that's usually turned up and under, the pretty edge, you can use my mind's gone blank, y'all. Got a hair in my eye. You can use your edge fabrics. I don't know what they're called. That words just left me. It'll come to me in a minute and I'll just blurt it out. You can use your fabrics that have the pretty edge on them and, you know, cut that and not have to hem it. That works too. If you're using one of those edge fabrics, you want to cut it 6 inches plus a 1/2 inch for your seam. So 6.5 inches is about what you want to cut that, okay? So keep that in mind, about 6 inches, 6.5 inches. If you're using a fabric that doesn't need to be hemmed. If you're using one that needs to be hemmed, you want to cut it 12 inches. 12 inches, because we're going to fold it in half so we don't have any raw edge underneath that pillow, okay? Going to fold it in half. So for that, I need 2 pieces of this red, because we're going to make a match, that are 12 inches. So I'm going to lay this right here on this 24 and cut it off so that it's good and square. All right, good and straight. There we go. Now then, we're going to come down here and cut this at the 12. I'm going to move it up so I've got a little more space. It's on 28, so I'm going to cut it on 16. Is that right? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, 16. All right, here we go. There's one, because that red goes pretty with both of these. I'm going to move this back up here to the 28. Cut this right here on this 16. And this is also 2/3 of a yard. Total 2/3 of a yard. 1/3 is 12 inches. 2/3 is 24 inches. 3/3 is 1, which is a whole yard, which is 36 inches. Okay? There's your math lesson for the day. Now then, for our little pretty piece, our little edge that we're going to do, I'm going to use this piece of blue denim because his comforter in his room and pillow shams and so forth are denim. So this will match very pretty. It'd be pretty on with that. And so here's this corner, or this end piece here. We need to trim this up because we don't want that raveled part in our pillowcase. Now then, for this, you want to cut 3 inches. 3 inches. And I'm going to do this with this, like this, right like this. I'm going to turn it around here. I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to cut this 3-inch piece right here. Is that right? That will be if I turn the ruler around the right direction. You can make it more. You can make it 4 inches is just your pretty part. I usually make mine 3 inches, which will end up being 1.5 inches, okay? And there are those 2 pieces. That's all you have to cut. Did you write all that down? Did you? I'm not going to fold that way. I'm going to fold it this way. It's too thick to turn up. Alright, that's all the cutting we have to do for a minute. We'll even them up here after a while. Alright, here's our pieces. Our bowling piece, our baseball piece, our bottom piece, and our bottom piece. And if you notice, this is going, these right here, so I'm going to turn this way because I want these to be upright. Okay, this can be upside down, but I want these squares right here to be facing upright. Okay. Turn y'all down just a little bit. Here's this piece. So here's what we got. Now these will end up going right in here like this. This is kind of what our pillowcases will look like when they're finished. Okay? Can y'all see those good? I think you can. Alrighty, now then, we're through with that. We need to take these and iron them, and you want to press them together pretty side out. You want it to be the pretty side out, just like this. You want to press that right down through there. Okay, on both of these you just want to press that all right like this. And on this one, you want to do the same thing. You want to press this just like this, pretty side out. Pretty side out, okay? So here we go. We're going to take these over there to the ironing board, and I'm going to press these just like so. And then we lay this on here like this. And that's the way the bottom of our pillowcase is going to look. Okay? So I'll be back here in just a minute when I get these 4 pieces pressed, and then we'll go to the next step of our pillowcase. Alright, y'all, we're just about finished these pillowcases. I told you it's so super easy peasy. Alright, now then we're going to open this up, but first I'm going to cut this selvage off because y'all know I'm saving my selvages. So I'm going to cut the selvage off of this one and this one. It's not quite wide enough, but I think I can make it do. Make it work here. And don't worry, this will not decrease the size of your pillowcase at all. It'll be just fine. Unless you've got some of the fattest pillows in the world. Okay, there's that one. Now let's cut this one off. Now there's our selvage pieces for our stash, our selvage stash. Okay, now then, oh mercy, my pen come out that was holding my ruler. I've got to get me my nails stuck in there. I've got them laying right here. Alright, now then, I'm going to do these one at a time. To open this up. We're going to lay it the way we want it, which is this right here. So the end, as I said, I want these people all to be upright. Then you're going to take one of your small pieces. You're going to lay it right there. And then one of your wide pieces. And you're going to lay it right here. Okay? Your little piece goes toward the pretty side of your big piece. And then your medium size piece. Okay? And you're going the width of this fabric all the way across. Okay? And you're going to pin it or clip it if you need to. I normally would not, but for the sake of this video, we're going to do that. Make sure all of these are even. Okay? All these edges are even. You've got 5 layers of fabric here. Okay? All 5 layers you want to be even on the edge right there. This denim is a wider fabric. It's probably 56 or 60, 54 or 60 inches wide. But that's okay. We're just going to cut that off. Not a big deal. We'll throw that over there in the scraps and we'll use it for something else. Maybe some little pieces in a quilt block, or to decorate something or something. We'll just throw it over there in our scraps, because that's, you know, where we'll have it. Okay? And I wanted to talk to y'all about something while I'm doing this pillowcase. If you love to make pillowcases like I do, to me, it's so satisfying, it's so quick, it's so simple, it's so easy. And there's a lot of these fabrics that are just so stinking cute that you're like, what would I ever do with that? But it's really cute fabric. Like this bowling fabric. You're like, unless somebody likes to bowl, and then what are you going to do with it? You're going to make them curtains for their room? Well, you could. You can make them pillowcases like I'm doing. You could put it in a quilt. But if you really don't want to do all that, you just love the fabric and want to do something with it. Especially children's prints. There's all kinds of licensed character prints. There's Disney, there's Bugs Bunny, there's tons of them. That's what my kids watch. There's so many more now that kids watch that I don't even know. Nickelodeon and stuff like that. That you can buy, that kids just love. Make pillowcases, donate them to a local hospital or a charity. Andy at one point was a patient at Shriners Hospital in Greenville, South Carolina. He had to have knee surgery, and back surgery was kind of iffy. He's got fairly severe scoliosis. You probably can't tell in the videos, but he's kind of wonky. And he had knee surgery twice over there. And somebody had made draw sheets for the beds. If you know what that is, you know, you put it under the kid and you take each side and 2 people and they pull them up in the bed. It's what we call a draw sheet. They make specialized things now with handles on them. We didn't have handles. We just used bed sheet. But I thought, you know what? And when we left both hospital admissions, one time he got a Build-A-Bear and some clothes and all that kind of stuff. Another time he got another teddy bear of some sort. You know, they were always giving children things. And those things had been donated by people. And I wanted to give back. So I got on this pillowcase drive and I made pillowcases galore. I would take them 100, 200 at a time when we would go for visits. And I put a Sharpie marker. I washed them, pressed them. They were all perfectly clean to go on a bed. Because when these children come back from surgery, they have a nice clean bed. Everything on that bed has been changed. Everything's clean. And the pillowcase, then they could have the doctors and nurses to sign it. Because I always used a light color or something on this bottom edge right here. And then the doctors and nurses could sign it. And the nurses could write their name with this Sharpie marker that I put with every pillowcase. I put a black Sharpie marker. And they could write their name on that pillowcase. And it was so cute. And Andy's no longer a patient over there, of course. He's outgrown them, plus, you know, he's stopped growing, so we're good with where he is right now. But if you have one of those local, or just a children's hospital, call and speak with some of the case managers or the family life people at the hospital, and they could probably tell you if they could use those types of things. But pillowcases are just so super easy to make. They turn out so cute, especially if you use the 3 fabrics like I do. Then you can take another piece of this red and put this at the bottom, because you've got that other third of a yard, or just so many things you can do with them. Okay, buy 3 yards and make 4 pillowcases. There you go. Especially with Joann's clothing, they're going to have all kinds of those kids prints marked down, and you could probably make pillowcases, you know, relatively inexpensively. And take them and donate them. If that's something that the Lord leads you to do and puts on your heart, then I say go for it. He did mine at one point, and I had so much fun doing that. Like I said, I think one time I took 150 pillowcases at one time, just because I just loved fabric, loved to play with fabric, didn't know what to do with my fabric, and I made pillowcases. I actually still have a few pieces that I bought to make pillowcases out of. One of them in particular, I'm trying to find it here for you all. Where is it? It's kind of a pink piece. Here's one piece. This is Peanuts. They're playing baseball. That would make an adorable pillowcase for a child. There's another one. It's a bubble gum piece, and I just saved a piece of it because I just absolutely loved that fabric. Well, I'm not seeing it right off, but it's here somewhere. But these are the type prints I'm talking about that make just absolutely adorable pillowcases. Kids love them. I used to do them for birthday parties, all kinds of things when the kids were small. Okay, now here's our first seam that we're going to sew. I use a serger. If you don't have a serger, straight stitch it and then run your zigzag down through it, and you are good to go. Okay, run your straight stitch and then a zigzag. We'll sew this seam right along here, straight down through there. All right, I sewed these up, both of them. See that? That's what our pillowcase is going to look like when it's finished. We got 2 more seams to do, or 1 more, depending on how you're sewing yours. All right, but look here. This doesn't line up, does it? This is longer. Can y'all see it? Turn y'all down a little bit. All right, see this? This is longer right here. So we got to cut that off. So we're just going to square it up right like this. And we're just going to cut it off. There you go. Same thing with the other side. The other pillowcase, I mean. Turn it right like that. Square it up. Cut it off. Now then, you put these pretty sides together. Okay, pretty sides together. This one right here is a little bit long on this side, so I'm going to cut it off too. So this one I'll cut both ends, both edges. Okay. And you want to match this seam right here. Okay, you want to get that seam right there matched. I have to switch out my clip baskets. That one over there's full and this one's about empty. Okay, now look here, this doesn't match down here, so we're going to have to move that to match this. Want the end to match. Clip it, and this is going to match right here. Clip it and put one in the middle just to hold it. So I want to match this up all the way around. You can pin it, you can clip it, you can just hold it as you sew. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. If you don't want to pin it, then don't. If you want to, then that's a good idea. If you feel like you need to, or if you want to put these clips, I have become addicted to these sewing clips. I love them. And on this seam, you always want to sew to this. You always want to start on your raw edge and sew to your folded edge. The reason that is because if you start here, then you may be off on this corner. But if you start here, they're going to come out even every time. Every time. Okay? These make great little gifts for birthday parties, for kids. They love them. I used to give them birthday gifts all the time. We're a pillowcase. And when my embroidery machine was working, I'd embroider their name on it. That was like the greatest thing in the world. They had their own pillowcase with their own name on it. And they just loved it. Kids loved that stuff. It's theirs. It's personal. It's not a hand-me-down. It's not something they have to share with anybody else. It's, you know, it's theirs. You can say it's mine. It's mine. It's mine. Now this one is not coming out exactly even. I guess I need to trim this piece right here. Just a wee little bit. Yes, I do. Just a wee little bit right here. Now then, let's see if this comes together like it should. And I always start sewing on this edge down here, on the hemmed edge, the pillowcase hem. If you want to go across here and top stitch that down, that just adds a little bit more to it. Add it with a pretty thread, do a pretty decorative stitch. You can do that. And it's going out the front door, and it's windy out there, y'all. My tree's starting to bud though. It is out the front window. I can see my maple tree starting to come out just a little bit. It is. Okie doke, I'm going to take these and I'm going to sew this. And I'm going to start my sewing right here. Okay? I'm going to sew down this side right here. And then I'm going to sew down this side right here. Okay? 2 more seams. Or if you're sewing with a straight stitch, come to here, stop, pivot, and go the other direction. Okay? And then come back and zigzag. Same way. All around those raw edges. I'm using the serger, but if you've got just a regular straight stitch and zigzag machine, straight stitch it, come back and zigzag it. And what do you know, just like that, we've made 2 pillowcases. 2 pillowcases. I use my finger to turn in those corners at the top, pull it out. Give it a good shake. trim off our threads. And there's pillowcase number 1. Let's trim off our thread here, and then we'll get this one turned. Y'all leave me some comments. Let me know if you've ever made pillowcases. Let me know how yours turn out. If you make them, send me pictures. I love to look at them. But for a boy and a boy's room, I don't want lace or anything like that on these. I wanted them just nice and plain. And these will hold a good queen size pillow, you all. But there they are. There's our 2 pillowcases. Aren't they just adorable? Look at them. Look at these. Aren't they precious? Turn this back so y'all can see it upright. There. Aren't they cute? There's our 2 pillowcases right here. And like I said, you can put their name down here. I used to always do that. And if you do them and you want them to be able to be signed and names put on them, if you donate them to a hospital or just a local children's home or something like that, or the kids in Appalachia where they've been flooded twice, some people, I'm sure they would love a pillowcase. This would just mean the world to them. You could maybe put a little blanket and a teddy bear in it if you wanted to donate that. Put your skills to work. And if you all want to do that and donate the pillowcases to some of the flooded out areas and so forth, let me know. I'll see what I can do about getting all that together, and get you all a place to send them. That would be very good. I know up through Kentucky and around, there's had a lot of flooding this last week or two. So, we've had a lot of flooding in our area. And I'm telling you, we drove around last Sunday, we took a ride, and I didn't take the camera with me, and I should have. But I'm telling you all, it's unbelievable. Absolutely. It's hard for me to explain to you that there used to be a river and trees and plants and things on the river banks. There are no banks. These look like rivers running through a desert now. Seriously, there's no vegetation whatsoever for like feet, hundreds of feet on each side of rivers over in North Carolina. I can't explain it. I'm sure if you Google it, there are people, the internet's full of pictures. But I've shown you all Irwin, and that looks like a thriving metropolis and no damage compared to what I saw last week when we went over into North Carolina. Just unbelievable. Homes, just foundations left. Literally a foundation, and that's it. No home, no nothing. And these people didn't have flood insurance. A lot of them didn't. Some may have. I don't know of any in particular cases. But my guess is the majority of these people did not have flood insurance because it's expensive. And they thought this water will never get up this high. But you know what? It did. It did. So that would be a good place if you want to donate things. Find a local sheriff's department or somewhere where they're taking up things for kids. Get some of these nice kid-friendly prints and make you some pillowcases. Donate them with a pillow in it. A pillow and a pillowcase. I'm sure these kids would be thrilled to death to have a new pillow and pillowcase. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. Let me know what you think of the idea. And that'll be all for this one. I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.